In Mozambique, it's time to destroy the mines they've discovered. The one Miss Marple found is carefully uncovered. This is the most delicate part of the operation. The mine clearers must not touch the top surface of the mine. A pressure of as little as 6 kilos can set it off. Only the light-footed rats are safe. Once the mine has been revealed, the shot firer can start work. Sandbags are laid to absorb the blast. A 100 grams of explosives will be used to destroy this mine. It's a 3-minute fuse. Plenty of time for an ordered withdrawal. It worked. Miss Marple's mine is destroyed. With long, sensitive whiskers and an excellent sense of smell, nimble and always inquisitive are the very qualities that make the rats so effective at finding mines. And it helps that they're so light. Weighing in at no more than 1.5 kilos, they won't trigger any mines. Miss Marple is left in a big storage hut to get used to her new surroundings. She's not quite sure yet. Nico's camp is surrounded by the debris of war. It was once used by armed rebels. Now Nico and his colleagues will stay here for months in the empty houses, till all the mines in the area are cleared. Until then, the villagers will look after them. Mozambique's civil war raged for 30 years. First against the colonial power Portugal, and then a rebellion against the new government. 1 million people were killed. The country fell into chaos. In 1992, the massacres ceased, leaving behind grief, orphans, ruins, and 2 million hidden landmines. At 2 months old, Miss Marple started the sniffing class. It all starts with the clicker test. The lesson begins. Miss Marple has no idea what it's all about. But she makes the connection pretty fast. Click means banana. Click means banana. But then it gets more complicated. Nico adds the smell of TNT, and then there's a click. And finally, the banana. That way, Miss Marple is trained to look for TNT. The smell of the explosive is stored in her brain. She'll never forget it. TNT means click, means reward. At 7 months, Miss Marple moves on to the next stage. She's given a special harness attached to a lead. Unsurprisingly, she doesn't know what to do with it. But Nico is patient. Marple pulls herself together and starts looking for explosives. But everything is different here. The lead, the soil, wind, noise, and the tea egg, smelling of TNT. Not bad for a first go, though Nico tries to encourage her to do more.
Joking.
It took a while, but now Miss Marple is ready for greater things. 5 months before going on active duty, still in the lab at Morogoro, this is the eve of Miss Marple's biggest training test. Nico wakes her at 6 a.m. It's going to be a big day. Miss Marple won't recognize what she sees outside the cage. This is the first time she's been away from the lab. And now she glides through the landscape, past the fertile plains to the foothills of the Uluguru Mountains in the heart of Tanzania. They arrive at the training field. The lesson has to be over before the sun is high in the sky. The rats don't like heat, and their sense of smell becomes less acute. But some of this is more familiar. And Miss Marple is still curious. Nico buries the TNT eggs that Miss Marple must find. Rats can smell eggs buried as deep as 15 centimeters. It's Miss Marple's turn. The final test begins. She's had no breakfast today. They need her hungry. She starts the search. She really wants her banana reward. Up and down she walks, in carefully controlled strips. Noise, smells, and wind. So much here is new and confusing. But after a few difficult moments, she remembers her lessons. That was it. TNT, click, banana. But then the collar starts to itch. Luckily, she's habituated to Nico. And he has a few tricks to get her back to work. Tanzania, the training minefield. Miss Marple wouldn't have made a mistake like that. She's now a year old and has everything off pat. She practices on fields cleared of undergrowth, just like the real thing. She goes straight to work, following her nose. Nothing distracts her, not even the giant millipedes. Miss Marple is concentrating on her job. When she finds explosives, she scratches the soil and alerts the trainer. No doubt about it, Miss Marple is a top sniffer, one of the best. And that means she'll soon be off on a long journey to the real minefields. Mozambique, a few days later. Nico and his colleagues wear flak jackets to protect them, but their arms and legs are still exposed. The atmosphere on the first day is tense.
When the landmine blasts, you know what happens. So you have to be a little bit careful, and you have to make sure that you don't get off the safe lane. All the time you really have to be careful whenever you're in a real minefield. I think about the people who are living here, because I know that if you are successful in doing this job, I think a lot of people will be safe around this place. Yeah.
Every movement is slow and considered. Even Miss Marple seems to feel the tension. Miss Marple is the second rat on this strip that's being demined. The previous rat didn't find any mines, but it has to be a fail-safe process. They always scan each strip twice. Nico watches closely, every step, every movement. Miss Marple seems to have found something. Miss Marple has found her first real mine. She has proved herself. The position is marked to be dealt with later.